So last class we have discussed reproduction in the plants, completed now vegetative reproduction and asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Today our topic is soil is our life. Soil our life. Is there in this lesson?
Yes, sir. We
Okay.
have soil our life and forest our life and respiration in organisms, reproduction in plants.
That respiration is over, but soil is our life and forest our life. That we have the pending syllabus.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means before going to that, soil is the first of all natural resource. Okay. Without soil, without soil, there is no plants and animals. Okay. So that means what I am saying, soil is providing to the life, to the all the living organism. Okay. Soil is providing to the all the living organism. So that's why soil is also very important natural resources. There is no soil, there is no plants and animals. Okay. Now today we can discuss about that. What is the soil profile and types of the soil and soil formation and composition of the soil we will study. Now coming to the point, soil. What is the meaning of the soil? What is the meaning of the soil? So forming mixture of the rock particles, sand and humus is known as the soil. What is the meaning of the soil? Mixture of the rock particle. My sound is audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can see mixture of the rock particles and sand, humus. So that means here what are the major part of the soil? Mixture of rock particles. Second one what? Sand. Second one sand. Third one humus. So these are three together is known as the soil. These three are known as the soil. Soil support the growth of plants by holding their roots and supplying water to them. So that means every living organism depend upon the directly or indirectly on the soil. There is no soil, there is no plants and animal. So that's why soil is providing to the life. So that's why soil is life. Soil is the important natural resources. Soil is providing to the life to the all the living things. So without soil there is no life. Okay. Next, study of the formation of the soil, chemistry, morphology and classification of the soil. So that means a simple word. Study of the soil is called pedology. What we are called? Study of the soil is called pedology. Study of the soil is called pedology. Okay, here they are given in the different form. Study of the formation of the soil, study of the chemistry, study of the morphology, study of the classification of the soil. So this is called pedology. That means you are keeping your mind only study of the soil is called pedology. Okay, soil is providing to the life. There is no soil, there is no life. There is no soil, there is no plant. There is no soil, there is no animals. Next, here one more word. Studying the influence of the soil on organisms especially on the plants, is called edapology. Edapology. Okay. So edapology means, okay, so actually studying of that soil, especially in that plants. Okay. So studying influence of the soil on organism, especially on the plants, is called edapology. So you are keep in your mind, study is the natural resources, study is the in that soil mixture of the rock particles, sand and humus together is present. Study is providing to the life to the all the living organism. There is no soil, there is no plants and animal, so that's why soil is provide to the life to the all the organisms in the earth. Study of the soil is called pedology. Study of that soil, especially studying influence of the soil in the organism, especially plants, is called edaphology. Next, another important point is very important. What is the important point is formation of the soil. How it is formation, how it is formed. For example, if you are grow the seeds, if you grow the plants required to the seeds, okay, if that producing to the new organism, reproduction is important. At the same time, formation of the soil, how the formation of the soil, that is the very important point is weathering of the rocks. What we are called? Weathering of the rocks. What we are called? Weathering of the rocks. Actually, that soil is formed because of the weathering of the rocks. What is the meaning of the weathering of the rocks? Actually, the rocks are the big rocks are present. That is converted into the simple form. Converted into the simple form. Through the air, through the water, through the wind, through the animal, through that, okay, so many factors. So here they are given formation of the soil. Example of the formation of the soil, simply one word answer is the weathering of the rocks that soil is formed. What it is? Weathering of the rocks that soil is formed. So here what is the meaning of the weathering? Soil is formed by the weathering. Okay. Soil is formed weathering of the rocks. So what is the meaning of the weathering? Weathering is the process of the breakdown of the rocks by action of the wind, water and climate. So this is called weathering. Okay. Formation of the soil is due to the weathering of the rocks. Weathering means the process of the breaking down of the rocks. The process of breaking down of rocks. Okay. So that means formation of the soil is the weathering of the rocks. Weathering means the process of the breaking down by the rocks by the action of wind, water and climate. By the action of the air, water and climate, formation of even 1 inch of the soil takes many years. So for example, very important that small particles also formed millions of the years are taking. So that's why soil is the very important natural resources. We can conserve the soil compulsory. Why? Because small inch of the soil also forming, taking to the millions of the years. Is it clear? That the soil is formed, weathering of the rocks, that soil is formed. That weathering means the process of the breaking down of the rocks is called weathering. So this is the weathering is occurred through the air, water or human activities or climatic condition. Next, coming to the point, composition of the soil. What that? Composition. So what is the meaning of the composition? Components. What are the components are present in the soil? What are the components are present in the soil? In the components of the soil, actually, soil, what are the components are present? In this soil, especially humus is present. Who are present? Humus is present. Second one is the clay is present. Third one is the silt is present. And fourth one is the sand is present. And fifth one is the gravel is present. Last but not least, water is present. So these are the components of the soil. What are the components? Humus, clay, silt, sand, gravel, water. These are the components of the soil. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you can note down, these are the components of the soil. Now coming to the point, so next, humus. What is the meaning of the humus? Humus means simple that upper layer of the soil is called humus. Upper layer of the humus is called soil. Here they are given definition that decaying dead matter in the soil. For example, if every organism after certain days they can dead. What are the dead and decaying matters is present in that area? That is known as the humus, where it is present in these dead and decaying matter. So in this particularly the dead and decaying matter where it is present, that is present in the humus only. So that's why the decaying and dead matter in the soil is called humus. The decaying dead matter in the soil is called humus. Humus make the soil fertile and provide to the nutrient to the plant. For example, if the humus is fertile, so that plants are very giving to the more amount of the yield. For example, if you are eat the nutritious food, you are the very active and you are a healthy. Yes or no? At the same time, that humus, if it is that humus is fertile, in that particular, which of the crops are growing, that crops are giving to the more amount of the yield. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, coming to the point, soil profile. Soil profile means you can see that, okay, different vertical layers of the, if you are see that soil, okay, here, just a minute. Next, soil profile. Soil profile. In this soil profile, what are present? So if you are see that in this vertical layer, what are the components are present in the soil? That is called, okay, soil profile. Especially in the soil profile, generally textures are present. Texture. Next, color. Next, chemical composition. Chemical composition. So these are actually present in the soil profile. What are texture, color, chemical composition of the soil are different in each layer. So that means if you see that clay soil, different texture, different color, different chemical composition. Okay, so this is about the soil profile. Next one, horizons. Horizons, are you see the horizons in your textbook? Please open page number 145. 145. 145. In this, actually these are the layers of the soils are referred to the origin. Origin of the soils are categorized into that actually four types. One is the A origin, second one is the B origin, third one is the C origin, and fourth one is the bedrock. Bedrock. Okay. First one what? O origin. O. Second one A. Third one B. And fourth one,
Which page, sir?
huh?
But what page number, sir?
Page number 145.
Okay, sir.
So actually soil is made up of horizontal layers. These layers are called horizon. They range from that rich organic upper layer to that underlying the rock layer. So first O origin. If you see the O origin, okay, so this is called the top soil organic layer of the soil. Actually in this humus is present more, okay, decomposed organic matter is present in the O origin. Are you got the textbook?
Yes, sir.
So they are given O origin what? This is the top organic layer. Decomposition of the plants and animals are present more here. More here. After that O origin who is present? O origin who is present? A origin is present. So this is the O origin is the top organic layer. This is A origin is called top soil. Okay, top soil. So this is present below the O origin. And actually seed germination and plants roots grow in this especially dark colored layer. It is made up of humus. Is there these points?
Yes, sir.
Once you can see. Okay. So O origin is the top organic layer. This is mostly made up of leaf litter and humus. This is the decomposed, especially in this particular O origin. Second one is the A origin. This is A origin is called okay. This is the top soil. It is found below the O origin. O origin. Actually, seed germinate, especially in the plant's roots are grow in this layer. It is made up of humus, especially decomposed organic matter mixed with the mineral particle. Below that, who are present? E origin. E origin also known as what? Leaching layer. What it is called? Leaching layer. So in this leaching layer, actually light here, the elevations of the layer in the light in the color, this layer is beneath the A origin and above the B origin. Okay, it is mostly made up of sand and silt, having the lost most of that minerals and clay water drip through the soil. So in this process, this is called elevation. And the next one is the B origin. B origin also known as the subsoil. This is present below the E origin, above the C origin. It contains mostly clay and mineral deposits like iron, aluminium oxide, calcium carbonate. These receive from the layer above the when the mineralized water drips from the soil above. Next, C origin. C origin also known as the regolith. The layer beneath the B origin above the R origin. It consists of the slightly broken up the bedrock. Plant roots do not penetrate into this layer. Very little organic materials are found. R origin. So this R origin also called bedrock. These are the unweathered rocks, bedrocks layer that is beneath the layer. Once you can read origins of the soil. Chaitanya, once you can read what you are understand. So O origin is called top soil organic layer. A origin is called top soil. E origin is called leaching layer. B origin is called subsoil. C origin is called regolith origin, and R origin is called bedrock. Okay. So this is the examiner. O origin below who are presented that you are keep in your mind. Next, coming to the point, here you can see O origin, A origin, okay, B origin, C origin. So O origin is the top organic layer. This A origin is called top soil. E origin is called leaching elevated origin. B origin is called subsoil. C origin is called parent material. Regolith material is present. R origin, this is called bedrock. So this is known as this is called total origins of the layer, origins of the soil. Next, coming to the point, types of the soil. How many types of the soils are present? How many types of the soil? So, do you know how many types of the soil? Do you know? Chaitanya?
Yes, sir.
Can you say soil's name? What do you know?
Yes, sir.
What do you know you can say?
Yes, sir.
So, first
First one, sandy soil.
sandy soil, okay.
Sir, loam soil.
Loam soil, okay. Loamy soil. Third one is the clay soil. Third one is the clay soil. Clay soil. So here you are keep in your mind, size of the particles of the soil is very important for the properties of the soil. So soils are categorized mainly into three types of the based on the proportion of the size. So these are the types based on the sizes that soils are classified. Based on the sizes, actually the soils are three types of the soils are present. One is the sandy soil. Second one is the clay soil. Third one is the loamy soil. So do you know all the crops are suitable to that to grow up all the soil? No. Okay. For example, so actually in this clay soil, generally our pots are made up of especially in the clay. Okay. In that sandy soil is not suitable to that growth of that plants. And loamy soil generally more amount of the more agriculture yield is getting in that loamy soil. Okay. Now coming to the point, sandy soil. In that sandy soil, you can see the sandy soil. Okay, you can see the sandy soils. Okay, you can see the sandy soil. Particles of the sandy soils are very large in the size. Actually, this is the big in size. Like, okay, because large in the size, sand particles cannot fit close together and hence there is enough space among them. So sandy soil, you know sands, so that sandy soil is the big in size. Okay, these space are filled with the air. So what are the gap in between that? In this gap that is filled with the air and water. So water drains quickly through the sandy soil. So sandy soil is also called well aerated light dry. Actually, if you are more amount of the air is present and they are very dry, if you are poured to the water, that is the very dry. So that's why sandy soil is not fit for the vegetation. So that's why, especially as it does not retain water, so however millets can be grown in the sandy soil. What are the millets? Can you say? Maize. Do you know maize?
Yes, sir.
And generally we can sorghum, generally jia maize and sorghum vulgare, jonnalu, sajjalu. So especially these are the crops we can grow in that millets we can grow in the sandy soil. Well aerated, light dry. So these are the do not fit for the vegetation and especially we can grow in the millets. We can grow in the millets. Now coming to the point, clay soil. Second one is the clay soil. In the clay soil you can see, especially in the clay soil, okay. So in the clay soil, particles of the clay soil are very small in size. Very small in the size. Okay, this makes the particles of the clay soil packed tightly. So that means okay. So that's why water does not drain quickly through the clay soil because less space among the particles. So clay soil also not well aerated and retains more water. So clay soil is used making for the toys, especially clay soil good for the growing of the paddy. Paddy always required to the more amount of the water. So that's why clay soil suitable for the paddy and clay soil is you are keep in your mind clay soil is do not well aerated and retains the more water. So this is only useful for the making of the toys. Clay soil is the good for the growing of the paddy. So more amount of the water is required. Okay. So that's why these clay soil we are using to that especially in the paddy crops. Next, last one, loamy soil. Next one, loamy soil. In the loamy soil, you can see here, very important point is, particles of the loamy soil are very smaller than sand and larger than the clay. Here, very important. Okay, so you can see that in this sandy soil actually bigger in size, like, okay, in this like, This is what? Clay soil. So particles of the loamy soil is the smaller than the sand soil and larger than the clay soil. And loamy soil is the mixture of the sandy soil and clay soil and silt. This silt deposit in the river beds. Loamy soil is the right water holding capacity. Water holding capacity if the more is present. So how much of the water is the absorbed that soil? That is giving to the more amount of the yield. So that's why water holding capacity is more is present. So that's why what happened? Loamy soil is the right water holding capacity is well aerated. This is considered the best soil for the growth of the plants. Most of the, you can study it in the social studies, most of that kings are, they are quarrel to each other because of that land purpose. Where the fertile land is present, they are occupied. So that's why this is the loamy soil is a very good. Already all the, so that generally these are that loamy soil is the good capacity, water holding capacity and good aeration is present. So that's why crop yield also more amount is present. So that's why they are getting to that best soil is the loamy soil. Making of the pots by using the soil is called pottery. Making. So in this sandy soil, clay soil and loamy soil, actually which soil is better? So better is the loamy soil is the better. Loamy soil is the better. Making of the pots by using of that soil is called pottery. Pottery means how to make that pots. So this is an ancient creative occupation. Okay. Already you know very well, Harappa civilization, Mohenjo-daro civilization, onwards, different varieties of the designers, pots and clay utensils were used. Pottery is a cottage industry in our country. Potters make the pots by using the clay soil on the pottery wheel. Okay, so pottery, so making of the pots by using of the soil is called pottery. So this pottery is a cottage industry. So high acidic soil retards the plant growth by affecting the efficiency with which the plant absorbs the nutrient from the soil. Next, so percolation of the water, percolation rate of the properties of the soil, properties of the soil, what are the properties is present in the soil. First point, percolation rate of the water. What is the meaning of the percolation water? Amount of the water drained through the water in the unit time is known as the percolation rate of the water in the soil. Percolation rate of the water can be calculated using the formula. Once you can see, percolation rate means what? Amount of the water drained through the water in unit time is known as the percolation rate. Percolation rate of the water can be calculated. Percolation rate for the minute. Amount of the water in the milliliter by time taken percolate in the minutes. Okay. The percolation rate of that water in the sandy soil is the fastest, in the clay soil is the slowest. That is the very important point. Okay. Percolation water, which of the soil is more? So that is the sandy soil is the very fastly percolation rate, and clay soil is the very slowest. Next, so moisture present in the soil. What is the meaning of the moisture? Water vapor is present. How much of that soil? That is called moisture. Amount of the water present in the soil is called moisture. Okay, the amount of the moisture present in the clay soil is the highest. This is the point is very important. Okay, so percolation rate, sandy soil is the fastest, clay soil is the slowest. Moisture present in the soil. Moisture means nothing but water present in the soil is called moisture. The amount of the moisture present in the clay soil is the highest and sandy soil is the lowest. This is the reverse for the percolation rate. Next, absorption of the water. Absorption means if you are poured to the water in the soil, how much of the amount of the water is absorbed by the soil, that is known as the absorption of the water. Different soil absorb different amount of the water. Clay soil absorbs highest amount of the water because its higher water retention capacity. On the other hand, sandy soil absorbs the least amount of the water because it lower water retention capacity. And soil and crops. Chaitanya,
Sir.
are you understand?
Yes, sir.
Next, sandy soil. Soil and crops. Soil and crops. Different types of the soil are found in the different places. A particular soil type may not be suitable for the certain crops. So that's why different types of the crops are grown in that different parts of the India. For example, rabi crops we can grow which season? Winter season we can grow that crops are known as the rainy season. Actually crops are the two types, kharif crops and rabi crops. So rainy season we can grow, that is called kharif crops. And so winter crops generally we can grow in the rabi crops. So all the soils are not suitable to that all the crops. So that's why based on that soil, depend upon the soil, so what is the suitable to the soil, that crops we can grow. And sandy soil is not fit for any crops and does not retain water. So that's why some thorns and bushes are grow in the sandy soil, especially millets can be grow in the sandy soil. Clay soil is the best suited for the paddy as it can retain water for the longer time. This is suitable for the wheat and grams. Loamy soil is considered the best for the almost all the types of the crops. It is suitable for the lentils and other pulses, especially green gram, red gram, pea. Okay, these are all the grams we can grow in this soil. Last one, sandy loams. Sandy loam soil is suitable for the growth of the cotton plant as it can easily drain water and as well aerated. So these are the all are the examples of the properties of that properties of the soil: percolation of the rate of the water, moisture present in the soil, absorption of the water, and soil and crops, and sandy soil and clay soil and loamy soil, sandy loam. So these are the properties. Next class we will discuss about that. So soil erosion, how it is occurred, we will continue. Any doubts regarding?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.